use headphones for best experience. Thanks for your fantastic support. Hi, welcome to another video. First, just let me show you quickly that you can find a lot of my content audio only on audio streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, for example. So type in ASMRctica, ASMR, and you will find a lot of content here. Today I would like to draw a map again, and it's a map from a world, showing a world of a game. And the game is Diablo IV, that was released quite recently, so I just started to get comments about it in my latest video, and then I realized this is a very new release. It's from June 2023, and then I thought, okay, I will give it a try, and I will try to do it as quickly as I can, because see if if the game is just released, then I guess maybe some of you would like to see an ASMR video of the map, perhaps. So I'm gonna draw the world or continent or the land that is called Sanctuary in the Diablo IV version of it. And I'm gonna start by doing some loose sketching with this white dry crayon, just so I can get the overall shape, so I don't do any huge mistakes while I'm drawing with the calligraphy pen later and the ink. I was a bit annoyed by the sound actually from that crayon, so I changed to this white pencil. Okay, I think I have the shape here now somehow. So let's continue. I have picked two different calligraphy pens here, as you can see. One is a bit wider at the tip. I think I will try this one first for the coast. Maybe I could try some blue ink for the coast. Let's see. And I can start here with the western coast. Perhaps there's a bay here, quite a prominent bay, approximately in the middle of the map. Here in the very northern tip there's a lighthouse called Hope's Light. And on the map it looks like it's like smaller. It consists of smaller, just rocks perhaps. Small, very small islands. A lot of them. And maybe on one of them, the most northern one, there's the lighthouse. Here's another bay. And here's a lake. I think it's the only lake I can see on this map here. And off the coast here there are some larger islands. But I can do the islands later actually. I will focus on just the coast because the tip here is so wide, so it becomes a bit messy if I start to do the smaller details using this tip. There's also a very prominent bay to the southeast. And here the landscape is continuing to the south, but it's not part of the game. The open world for Diablo 4. This continent is actually bigger than the area shown in the Diablo 4 version of Sanctuary. In older maps that I have seen, from Diablo 2, Diablo 3, this is just the eastern part, northeastern part of a continent, or two continents, with the twin seas in between. So then these are the eastern kingdoms. Can continue with the western coast. Port city Kehjistan is here. Also two quite large islands off the coast here. You can see. So now let's continue with some red ink. Maybe I could zoom in a bit. I think it could be nice. So let's start from the north. And there's the northern geographic area here called Scosglen. And let's see. The border between Scosglen and the steppes here, the dry steppes, should be, let's see if this is Turdulra. Here, then we have it. Must be here. And stretching from north west to southeast, reaching the center of this continent. Here I would say, close to the silvered edge lands. Something a bit strange with the map I'm looking at. I have searched for the map on I just searched for Sanctuary or Diablo IV interactive map. But it's like the western coasts are all parts of all these different regions, but the eastern coast looks like it's not part of any region. So it's like the area that I'm drawing here, the Scosglen, it ends actually here a bit from the coast. And it looks like the coast is no man's land somehow. So I will draw it like that on this map too. Yep, here you can see Scosglen. I will soon divide it into the different regions as well and add some towns, some strongholds as well. But let's continue with the other 4 geographic areas, main areas. Starting zone when you start the game. By the way, I forgot to tell you, I always, when I do the map, the world's drawing videos, I should do spoiler alert, of course, because I will probably include things that you might not know from when you're starting the game. So this is a video for you who are already familiar with the game or are not interested maybe in playing the game, or it doesn't matter to you if there are spoilers. So just so you know. here's the starting zone, the fractured peaks where the game starts. So here it is. Here I think it's a second zone that you will have access to after finishing this one. But yeah, I don't think you need to finish it like totally, but I think you start here and then it opens the other zones one by one. Now let's see. Here is the border between dry steppes to the north and Kehjistan to the southwest. Interesting area. Also called the borderland. And here's the southern border of the continent. And here to the southeast it follows this deep bay here. And the southern part is divided into two zones like this. Kehjistan, the desert landscapes and all the ruins from ancient civilizations, and the swamplands of Hawezar. Then we have all 5 zones. Oh, there should be a border here as well. So Hawezar has, the regions of Hawezar are stretching all the way to the coast, but not in Fracture Peaks and Scosglen like this. So I don't know what this coastal area here belongs to, if it belongs to anyone or what it is exactly. And south of this land, I guess it's the rest of the world that you could see in Diablo 2 and 3. Actually, Kehjistan, this is just part of what was Kehjistan in the older games. Because Kehjistan was both rainforest to the south and then to the north there were the deserts and called the borderlands. And I think the playable area in Diablo 4 is just the northern part, the desert, the borderlands. At at least it looks like the two northernmost regions here are just sand and desert. Here there's an area with some ruins and towns, a big port city here, Kehjistan. So let's move on to the smaller regions that makes up these bigger areas. And I'm not sure if I'm going to change color now or what to do. Yeah, now I know. I will continue with the red color, but not for the borders, for the regions. I will use it for cities, strongholds, and just some locations that I want to point out. And when I'm finished with those, with the red color, I will go on with black color for all the borders of these regions. So let's start here to the very north with the lighthouse, Hope's Light. And then on this kind of peninsula here, there's Turdulra that I wanted to include on my map here. And Turdulra is the greatest of all the Druid colleges. The Druids are here in the northern part, in Scosglen, and it's a shapeshifter race. And I've read that the Druids, they don't typically dwell in bigger cities or urban areas, more in like scattered ancient stone towers all around the landscape. But yeah, this is one of the biggest of these colleges that they have. And here's also the place for the magnificent oak tree called Glor Anfaida. I think the name reminds me a bit of Irish language. Maybe it's inspired a bit of that, Gaelic. This whole region is inspired by Scotland, by the way. Or, yeah, maybe Scotland and Ireland. Here is the main city of Scosglen in the center. Quite big. And it's called Serigar. There's a stronghold here to the east. Called the Moordane Lodge. There are highlands and moors here, inspired by the English, Scottish, Irish, Welsh, perhaps, landscapes. And let's move on to Fractured Peaks, the main city. I'd like to call it the capital, but I'm not sure if it's officially a capital. I will just call them main city. It's Kehjistan here. And there's a stronghold to the north of the region, called Kordraga. And there are a lot of interesting places here in the southwest of this area. For example, the town Nevesk, or Nevesk. And also stronghold and town Nostrava. And a stronghold here to the east called Malnok. And I would like to add a couple of more towns here. Towns, also waypoints in the game. So it's Menestad here. It's Icehound Ruins, the Icehound Tiger. The Lost Archives dungeon. Boulder Ridge. Margrave Town. Eastern Pass. Yelesna in Gale Valley, also called Gale Valley is also called Gnarled Timbers. Bear Tribe Refuge. Let's move to the third area. The Dry Steppes. Inspired probably by the steppes of Central Asia and Mongolia when it comes to the landscape. But all the landscapes here are very hostile, so I guess it's a very harsh version of those landscapes that inspires them. Here's the main city, the north. It's called Kehjistan. And here's Stronghold. Onyx Watchtower, and to the west of that stronghold lies the Orbe Monastery. The Orbe Monastery was once a prominent base of learning for the Zakarum monks, but then it was abandoned at some point. But still, there are Zakarum pilgrims going here, because it's like a very sacred place again. And we have one of the two fields of hatred. And we kind of want to point this out, maybe with stripes like this, so it becomes a bit red. I guess Yes, these are very dangerous, hostile areas that you don't want to visit too often. The fields of hatred. The other one is located here in Kehjistan. The very southern part. These lands were tainted by the hatred of Mephisto. They are turning visitors against their fellow mortals. So it's like ruined everything that was there before, I guess. It's just ruins, just wasteland. There are the ruins of Kehjistan here to the southeast of Dry Steppes. A stronghold in the game, and here east of these fields of hatred, there's the Temple of Rot. Also, it's a stronghold. Yeah, I mentioned this was like inspired by Scotland, probably, and this probably by the steppes of Central Asia and Mongolia. And this could be like the Carpathian Mountains in a way, like Eastern Europe, but the mountainous areas, because this is very mountainous here, the fractured peaks. The Gothic areas of Carpathian Mountains. Sorry about the sound there for a couple of minutes. I'm not sure exactly how many minutes, but my sound recorder stopped recording, and fortunately I noticed it. So I needed to clear the card because it was full. So I have been drawing now some locations in Scosglen, fractured peaks and dry steppes, and also these fields of hatred. And I think I will need to use the sound from the camera while I'm doing that, so I'm sorry for that. I hope you still find this video relaxing, because now I will continue with good audio recorder again. So let's continue with Kehjistan. It's this area. The desert area to the north of ancient Kehjistan. The main city is the port city of Geakul. And east of Geakul there's a stronghold called Omath's Redoubt. is Caldeum, former capital of Kehjistan. This was a big empire in the past, and just the opposite of how the Druids live in their scattered towers. The Kehjistani usually live together in urban areas, or a lot of towns that are now ruins. They had a capital in the past called Kurast before Caldeum became the capital. Kurast is now totally in ruins. Maybe it could be here, where it's now fields of hatred, I'm not sure. At least it was more located in the south, but I guess the ancient Kehjistan Empire was also south of this border. The rainforest part probably, and then the desert part, also called the borderlands, are here to the north. Very harsh environment. Here's also a stronghold called Altar of Ruin. And here's Alcarnus stronghold. And in the last zone, the fifth zone, swamplands of Hawezar. The main city is Zarbinzet. Zarbinzet, here to the southwest. And there's a stronghold here to the very west called Crusaders Monument. Also here to the east, close to this lake and the border to Fractured Peaks. There's Ehriman's Pyre stronghold. And here also to the south is a stronghold, Vieres. And just east of that stronghold is a dungeon called the Witchwater Dungeon. Now I would like to go on with the black ink. So, first it's the border to the very north, is the border between Hope's Light region and the North Shore. So I think I will draw a dotted line here. So Hope's Light, North Shore, and this very small region here is called the Carrow Crest Ruins. And here are the Wailing Hills, and a small region again. Maybe the small regions are more like city-states. Cain Adar, this one is called. The Moordane Lodge here, and the Strand. Here, south of this bay. To the east are the Shrouded Moors, the Highland Wilds. And these are the towns. You can hear on the names here, Moors, Highlands, towns. That it might be inspired by England and Scotland. Here's a deep forest, but also Turdulra, that I mentioned before, is a region on its own as well. So, deep forest here. Now let's see. This small region here is the Firebreak Manor, and the surrounding bigger region is Westering Lowlands. And the city of Serigar is located in the Emerald Chase. Here. And now let me do the same, dividing this area here, the Fractured Peaks, into smaller regions. So let's see, Core Dragon to the north here. And this is Sarkova Pass, where Menestad is located, and also the Silvered Edgelands here to the northwest. Kehjistan is part of this region. Let's see. desolate highlands where I have added quite a lot of locations. Here you can see Nevesk town, Boulder Ridge, the Eastern Path, the Ice Howl ruins also here. So it's a lot on this map in this region. Then Nostrava is like a city-state, or at least a region of its own here. And surrounding Nostrava is the Pallid Glade region. And to the east, Valar, like a small region. Another small region to the east, the Crucible. And Malnok Stronghold. And the Bear Tribe Refuge is located here in the Seat of the Heavens. And here around Jelesna is the Gale Valley, also sometimes called the Gnarled Timber. And what is left now should be the Frigid Expanse somehow, and Dobrev Taiga. I think the border must be here. So, Dobrev Taiga around Margrave town, and Frigid Expanse. And all these regions make up the Fractured Peaks. Very mountainous area here. A lot of mountain peaks, rocks, and also steppes, and it's a frozen landscape. Very cold. Yes, up in the mountain peaks it's a lot of snow. And in the south there are a lot of waterfalls, leads to the swamps, or actually is the reason they end up here, the rivers in the swamp, feeding it with water, this land. Now to the regions of dry steppes. And I will start here to the north, west. Here where Kehjistan city is located, the region is called the Kotama grasslands. You can hear there are a lot of grasslands here in this region. Here's a small region called Tusma Rift. And then the Onyx watchtower, the stronghold here. These were quite a lot of regions here at once. The Norgoi Vigil here. The scarred coast to the west. The fields of hatred to the southwest. And the Dindai Flats. Where the Orbai Monastery is located. And the Kargai Crags. So let's move on to the eastern part of this zone. These are the untamed scarps, and around this stronghold is a small region, Temple of Rot. And also around this ruins, the Karajisu. Here it's a bit blurry on the map. Let's see, there should be 3 regions here. Here's the Yakab Basin, not part of those 3. So here we should have... How would you like this? Karajiso, small region around these ruins, this stronghold. And then the rest is called the Accused Wastes, except small part in the east. Maybe like this. I can't see exactly where the border is actually. But this small region is called the Saran Caldera. And now Kehjistan. Here by the coast is Amber Sands. It's one of the big regions to the north. Desert regions. Alcarnus is a small region and a stronghold. There's another small region called the Seared Basin. And this stronghold is a region called Altar of Ruin. So now you see the two prominent desert regions here. Amber Sands to the west and Scoring Sands to the east. They both have names with sand in it. And here's the former capital, Caldeum. And here's Omath's Redoubt. Stronghold. Fields of Hatred here as well, just like in Dry Steppes. And Gekul is part of the region here to the southwest, called Southern Expanse. And in the center there's a small region with a long name, Dilapidated Aqueducts, and the rest here to the southwest, including these islands, is the ragged coastline. And this makes up the Kehjistan area in Sanctuary Diablo IV version. And the last area is Hawezar. Let's start here. Airman's Pyre, Stronghold. I will draw a lot of borders now, and I need to concentrate a bit. So I will get it right. There, I think we have it, all of them. This is the Dismal Foothills, I guess the biggest region here in Hawezar. Here's the Writhing Mire and the Rotspill Delta. I will actually use the black ink now to draw some more islands here, because there's like archipelago here, the delta. And Blight Marsh here to the center, in the center, with a witch water dungeon. And here's the Forsaken Coast. And the Haunted Wreckage, small one here, the very southern tip of the continent. And the Toxic Fens north of this bay. Vieresh city-state, looks like, or a stronghold. The Fethys wetlands are here. And this small one here is the ruins of Rakat Keep. And this one, small one as well, is Fields of Desecration. And the big one here, I forgot one actually, here. Crusaders Monument is a region, a small region around this stronghold. And where the main town is located, Zarbinzet. The area is called the Umir Plateau. And now let me zoom out. So here's the entire map. I think I would like to write and label it, probably the 5 main areas. I would like to write the names of them. So let's do that. Let's start in the north with Scosglen. And next, Dry Steps. and fractured peaks. And Kehjistan. And last, Hawezar. Scosglen, dry steps, fractured peaks, Kehjistan and Hawezar. The main cities: Serigar, Kedpartu, Kehjistan, Kehkul and Zarbinzet. Hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. Take care. Sleep well. And see you soon.